type of plate boundary exists along the edges of each plates. In our video about the Earth's lithosphere and the plate boundaries, you have learned about the different layers of the Earth, including the lithosphere. You also learned about the scientific basis of the scientists in dividing the plates.
The type of plate boundary can be classified according to the movement of plates. The plates which move toward each other is called convergent plate boundary. Plates which move away is known as divergent plate boundary. And the plate that moves sideways is known as transform plate boundary. Let's get to know more about these types of plate boundaries. Convergent plate boundary. The figure shows the convergence of oceanic continental plates and two continental plates. Convergence of plates happen when two plates collide. This motion results to compression or subduction of plates. As the two plates continue to push, the lithosphere experiences driving and resisting forces. During subduction, the denser plate continues to sink because of its weight. This process is known as the slab pull and slab suction. However, these forces are opposed by resisting forces. Slab resistance occurs when the subducting plate resists the driving force of the plate above it. Meanwhile, as the subducting plate goes deeper, collisional resistance takes place and continues to resist subduction. Divergent plate boundaries. The figure shows the divergence of two continental plates and two oceanic plates. Two plates moving apart are known to be divergent plate boundary. As the plates move away, the magma tends to rise in between plates. It will be exposed to the surface and solidify, creating a young layer of crust. Transform plate boundary. As the lithosphere moves sideways, shearing happens. This type of plate boundary is dangerous, especially if structures are built on top of it.
Now that we know the different types of plate boundaries, let us analyze which type exists among the major and minor lithospheric plates.
Let us recall the major and minor lithospheric plates. Our major lithospheric plates are Pacific Plate, North American Plate, Eurasian Plate, African Plate, Antarctic Plate, Indo-Australian Plate, and South American Plate. And the minor plates are the Philippine Plate, Juan de Fuca Plate, the Cocos Plate, Nazca Plate, the Caribbean Plate, Scotia Plate, Arabian Plate, and Indian Plate.
Remember that scientists were able to locate these boundaries based on the geologic features and activities present on the edges of each plate.
The arrow on the figure shows the relative motions of each plate. Let us analyze some of the plates and try to figure out the type of plate boundary present between them. Let us consider the North American Plate and the Pacific Plate. Both plates appear to move towards each other. Therefore, this location is an example of a convergent plate boundary. The next figure shows the Pacific Plate and the Nazca Plate. Both of the plates move away from each other. Therefore, this location is an example of divergent plate boundary. The last example shows the North American plate and the Pacific plate. Since the North American plate moves in a counterclockwise direction, the type of plate boundary may vary. In this part of the map, the plates appear to slide past each other, and therefore, this location is an example of a transform plate boundary.
To sum up, the different types of plate boundaries are convergent plate boundary, divergent plate boundary, and transform plate boundary. It is important to remember that these plate boundaries are classified into different types according to the movement of plates. I hope that you have learned a lot from this lesson, and don't forget to follow us for upcoming videos.